Hey guys, episode 64 out the top, October 1st, 2024, heading into finals week. Brought Dunnigan here in the Rock Life Studios. Dan Carter's with us. What's up, buddy?
What's happening?
Guys, today we're just going to kind of lead into finals a little bit. But before we get into that, like always, rate, review, share the show. Leave us a comment. If you really like the show, there's a couple membership levels available on YouTube. Go check that out. Get you some discounts. We finally got our new Out the Top hats. Got them on the website the other day. So we're getting some more stuff in to try and make that membership better for you guys. More options on things, and we're going to have more coming throughout the winter months, so stay on the look for that. So we'll get into the show. So we didn't put out a show last week. We had been to Bristol.
Right.
We went down to Bristol Motor Speedway with Super Grip. Finally wore my shirt. Went down to Bristol, hung out with Super Grip for a while. I guess you all went to all three races, didn't you?
We did.
So what do you think? I know you're not a big NASCAR guy. The Saturday race was kind of whatever. But overall, what do you think about like the experience of being there at? In my opinion, there's not a better racetrack to go, especially if it's like your first race.
Right.
Like that, just walking into that place. It is literally probably the biggest stadium in the country.
Right.
I think it holds almost 170,000 people. Like that's unreal. What do you think about? I mean, what was your? Of course, I know you'd been before, but overall,
Right.
like what do you think about that place and that environment?
So I'll just start off. Thursday was the truck race Thursday night, and it was pretty good. There, it was almost perfect there for a little bit because we walked into the suite in the box. There wasn't anybody in there, and I was like, "How long is this going to last?" So had the suite pretty much all of ourselves, probably 15, 20 minutes before everybody started showing up. But, was able to watch the truck race. And that to me, it almost seemed like it was a little bit more competitive. Then we got into the Xfinity race Friday night. And that was pretty cool. We'd seen that before. Last time we actually got to go down to the pits. So you took us to the pits last time, and I don't remember it being so loud. Like, I guess it was because we were, I guess we were in the middle of the stadium, and we were able to like kind of walk around the pits, and some of the trailers may have baffled the noise some.
I think it is louder in the bowl. But when we went down to the pits, when we first got down there, they were running, I think, like cup practice or something.
Right.
And so, like, you didn't just walk into 40 cars all running at the same time. I think it kind of builds you up a little bit, and it's not so noticeable. But yeah, it's pretty loud down there.
Yeah, but for the main race Saturday, we went down to the infield for probably 15, 20 minutes, and man, I don't know if I'm just getting old, but it was just so loud that you couldn't even hear yourself think.
No, them cup cars are ridiculous.
So we stayed down there about 10 or 15 minutes. I was like, we got to go back up to the suite.
It's a good time. I mean, anybody who's never been to, if you've never been to a NASCAR race and you want to go to one, Bristol is, I think, the ultimate first race.
Right.
If you can't go to Bristol, Talladega is really good, especially if you like to do to participate in the extracurricular activities. Talladega's really good. And then, I mean, nobody's ever going to turn down a trip to Daytona either. But those are my
Yeah.
three. Grew up going to Atlanta. Really used to really like that place. It's changed over the years, not as good as it once was. But
Right.
Bristol, Talladega, Daytona. If y'all ever want to go to one, hit one of those three up. I think that's your best bet. But yeah, good time. Appreciate them guys for having us down. I mean, there was a crowd.
Oh,
What did we have? The suite hosts 65 people, and it was pretty well full.
yeah. Yeah. I would say Thursday night wasn't, I'd say there was probably 30 people in there. Friday, I would say there was probably 40, 45 people there. Uh, Saturday night, yeah, it was almost standing room only.
Saturday was tight, and I don't know how my kid and what's his name, Collier,
Yeah.
Hoback. I don't know how they didn't kill someone, or I was waiting for them to break the glass and just go shooting out onto the racetrack.
Right. They were having a good time.
Oh my goodness, I've never seen two kids in all my life be so happy to be confined into a small room.
Right.
But I think Timmy's looking forward. I think they're going to try and make the trip over this weekend. My wife and
Oh,
the
that'd
kid,
be
they're
fun.
going to try and come over, I think, Saturday. Try and catch some racing. Timmy doesn't give two shits about the racing. He just wants to come see his new friend now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So he's ready to go. But getting into finals. So we're racing Thursday, Friday, Saturday this week at Wildcat Offroad Park in East Bernstadt, Kentucky. Expecting a large crowd. Thursday, I don't think will be too crazy, but Friday and Saturday, if there's any spectators, people thinking about coming, listening to this, please get there early. Parking lots will fill up. You will be parked 2 miles down the road. I don't think they have shuttles, but you want to get there early. Get there Thursday if you can. Spend the weekend. It's
Right.
going to be. I mean, this is the most racing that we've done in a 3-day period ever.
Right.
We've been racing Thursday, Friday, Saturday out at Mid-America for the last few years, but the car counts out there aren't as high, I don't think, as what they're going to be here.
Right.
So we've got 20 bouncers entered, 16 in the UTV Unlimited class, 11 stock, 7 in bounty class, 10 youth, and only 3 in the VIN. So, I mean, that's going to make for some long days, some good competition. Each class is getting 4 runs throughout the weekend. I think you had the schedule, didn't you?
Yeah, I've got what Clyde hopes to provide us with.
Yeah, the
But
tentative schedule.
so so Thursday we're starting out drivers meeting 12 o'clock. Thursday at 12:45 we're going to kick off with UTV stock round 1, VIN class round 1, UTV youth round 1, UTV cup, UTV bounty, and bouncer. So there's going to be a lot to see Thursday. And then if time permits, he wants to run UTV youth round 2, UTV stock round 2, and VIN class round 2.
I think the Thursday course, your stock and unlimited, youth class, VIN class, I don't think you're going to have any trouble running through that stuff. It depends on what he does with the bouncers and the bounty.
Yeah.
But I do feel like Thursday is going to be, hopefully Thursday is going to be a little tamer course. Let everybody get their feet wet. We don't want half the field out before we even get to Friday.
Right.
But also, it could be just the exact opposite because you got all night to fix it.
Right.
So who knows?
I feel like he knows that he's got a time crunch. So I feel like Thursday will be tame. There may be a lot of here's what I see happening. I see UTV Bounty and Bouncer probably using the same course as UTV Cup, but possibly reversed.
Yeah, I can see him doing that. But I think Thursday. I don't think Thursday will be too bad. But to try and cram all that in from what 1 o'clock
Right,
till it gets dark up here before 8. So to cram all that in 7 hours without a lunch break,
right,
that's going to be. Like you said, depending on recovery time and things like that, it's going to take a minute. So,
right. And
um,
I haven't sat down and looked at like how many's running, how many courses, and then tried to average about what the projected timeline should be for each racer.
yeah.
But it's still going to be crowded. I think it's going to be tight time constraints, especially on Thursday.
Well, you've
Uh,
you've seen him. In the last couple or in the spring, we made some ups and downs and loop de loos and whatever, but you pretty much finished um, on the mid level, I guess you could say, of Wildcat. So for you guys maybe who,
right,
who don't know, there's there's more than 3 levels, but Wildcat you start typically down in the bottom of this like ravine, and then you work your way up, and there's some bench roads and things like that. So in the spring, you started in the bottom, and you finished on the first like bench road. He's finished the finish line all the way up on top before.
right,
So I just wonder if maybe Thursday is just going to be for Bouncer and UTV Bounty, if it's just going to be shoot up the hill one time, get your time.
right.
I kind of feel like maybe that's where he's going to go with this, but
Yeah.
it's hard to
It,
tell what's on his mind.
and two, he put in the group meeting message. I said meeting. He put in the group. It just depends on how the course has changed. Also,
Yeah.
there's hearsay that the I guess the road to the right, which would be like normally we would use it for like an access road. Vin has used it in the past to
Mm.
go up. Um, Hearsay is that they have pretty much included that portion for spectators. So that road is supposedly not there anymore. So that'll be interesting to see. And that'll be good for the fans to be able to get a little bit closer, to the action. But hopefully we've still got some sort of access to get up and down the hills fairly quickly.
Well, from my understanding, I think the road itself is still there.
Okay,
I
good.
think they have built benches on that hillside to allow for some more people in there to get up on the hillside.
Right, right.
But
Okay.
I think the road is still there. So yeah, I have heard that Wildcat has spent some money in getting the event area more up to par, more room for vendors, more room for fans, room for UTVs, because they are expecting a big crowd.
Right.
So moving into Friday, we're pretty much the same thing. Everybody's getting one run on Friday. Was that right?
Um, yeah, it's looking like driver's meeting is Friday at 9 a.m. Then we're going to kick off with UTV stock class round three, VIN class round three, UTV youth round three, then UTV cup round two, UTV bounty round two, and then bouncer round two. And then around 2 o'clock, we're going to kick off UTV youth round four, UTV stock round four, VIN class four, and then UTV cup three. So Friday we'll wind up UTV youth, stock, and VIN.
Yeah. So if you guys are interested in watching any of those classes, you definitely want to make sure you're there Thursday and Friday, because I don't think they're going to make it till Saturday unless time just pushes it. And then I also
Right.
believe what UTV Cup runs 2 runs on Friday as well, right? Isn't that what it says?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna do UTV Cup round 2 and round 3 on Friday.
Yeah. And then Saturday, that puts basically whatever's left.
Yeah, and then he also said uh, what we don't catch Thursday, we will pretty much put on the backside of Saturday. So drivers meeting Saturday at 9 a.m. Then they're going to kick off UTV Cup round 4, UTV Bounty round 3, and then Bouncer round 3. And then at 1 o'clock, UTV Bounty round 4, and then Bouncer round 4. So after Bouncer round 4, then he's going to catch whatever was pushed to the wayside on Thursday.
Right on. It's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah,
and also, I kind of want to touch on this too. I know we've said a couple times throughout the year to everybody, make sure to get your points and get eligible. You know, there was some discussion about people driving in finals. So the rule is seasoned driver, or you have to hit a certain points number to be eligible for finals. That is only really meant for the UTV Unlimited class and the bouncers. It is my understanding that that is going away.
right. So the way I took that was placed in effect for when we were racing with Mid America. They had time constraints.
They had some really big, like you run from 7 to 9
right,
and you're done.
Right.
So we had to fit those windows. And also it had something to do with the regional series as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that played in. But since all that's gone now, I think the point restriction is going to go away next year.
Right.
I do think there needs to be some sort of, because it's kind of, I mean, it is just another race, but it's a double points race. You ought to have to do something to qualify for it.
Right.
But whatever. I say, as long as they want to pay the entry fee, bud, come on.
Yeah, and I see something probably like to the effect of you must have run 2 races.
Yeah, I think
in the series or something before you can actually qualify for finals or something. Which, Clyde's always been a proponent to the sport and wanting everybody to take in the action and take in the fun and be able to race if they wanted to. So I feel like you're not going to get turned away.
Yeah.
If you want to race.
Yeah. And I still think, we've only got 3 in the VIN class. I'd like to see some more in that. I think they will allow late entries in VIN class and stock class, and I think even bounty. So if you guys are thinking about running, I think if you show up, they're not going to turn you away.
Right.
But I'm not on the rules committee, so don't hold me to that. So let's talk.
Bryant Dunnigan said I could race.
Listen, it don't matter what I say because I'm full of shit. So let's get into. So there's our schedule for the weekend, and we're going to try and keep this pretty short this week. But I do want to run through some of our point scenarios. For anybody who's actually keeping up with what's going on. So our points system in the National Rock Racing Association is there's 50 points per hill, and then that's your winner. You get 50 points per hill, and then second place is like 47, 44, so on and so forth, and whatever. So if you win the event, your max points you can get typically is 100. Now, if you win, you get 3 bonus points. So your max points is actually 103. This event is 4 runs, so it's not technically a double points event. It's a double event in general. It's twice the event. There's twice the points, but there's twice the hills. So there's still 50 points a hill. We got 4 hills coming up. I'm just going to start with like our UTV stock class. Cody Kaysen's leading with 857. Brandon Davis has 747. So what that tells me is as long as Cody finishes his first 2 runs, all he's really got to do, if he gets himself 100 points or even 80 points realistically, all he's got to do is break the tape or break the beams the next 2 runs. Cody's going to be your champion.
Right.
Hope I didn't
for this year.
For this year. Hope I didn't put no jinx on him. But, I mean, he's been burning it up. Brandon Davis in second. Dylan Dowler's in third with 730. So this is where it gets interesting. Cody's pretty well got the championship wrapped up, but your top 3, or I'm sorry, your second 3, which would be second place, third place, fourth place, they're all within about 40 points.
Ooh.
So
it's going to be interesting.
You got Brandon Davis with 747, Dylan Dowler with 730, Daniel Heckley with 715. So all of those positions over the course of 4 hills, even if those guys finished, let's just take Cody out of the mix. If those guys finish first, second, third, if they're all in the top 5, they could still switch places.
Right.
So, like, this is going to be tight. After them, you get down, and then the next 3, which would be your 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Yeah, 5th, 6th, and 7th place. You got Braden Upchurch with 661. Coy. I have listened to Zach. I have listened to Zach too much, and I can't say his name now. Coy Chapel with 656, and Jay Storch with 651. So those 3, that's a fight for 5th place.
Right.
I don't think they're going to jump up out of 5th, but that is a fight for 5th place, and everybody wants to say they finished in the top 5. So those 3 are going to be battling each other. Stock classes, it's not over. Like there's still some storylines in there.
Right.
And it's kind of the same when you jump over to your UTV Unlimited class. Timmy's got a pretty decent lead, 50-point lead over Clay Kaysen. So Clay's got 750. Dylan Dowler's in third with 741. Barring a DNF somewhere, those are going to be your top 3. But how are they going to finish out?
Right.
That could switch really easily. When you get past that, your next 4, and UTV Unlimited, I think, has pays back to 5th place for the championship. So they're all trying to get in that top 5.
Right.
You got Cooper with 707, Casey Howe with 697, Cody Kaysen was 674, and Brandon Davis was 665. So they're all within 40 points. So that is nowhere near finished. There's a lot to be played out in that class. And it's so wild that they run, they've run 9 events, and all these points are still so close.
Right.
It's like you watch the runs, right? And they're running these 95-second lap times, and they'll all come in. The top 5 will be within 2 seconds or less of each other.
Right.
Like how?
Yeah, that just shows you how competitive this sport has become. And like you and I've talked about this too. It's like you've got 5 guys that are really, really fast. And then you've got the 5 that are behind them that make up the top 10. Any of those 5 can be thrown in the top 5 any random race.
Yeah.
But they're all within hundredths of a second of each other.
Yeah.
And I remember one of our first races that we had in the new car, we just felt like the car did great, but I wasn't expecting to even be in the top 10 in a brand new car. But like we were all still within just tenths of a second from each other.
Yeah, first to
And,
10th
and
was like 4 seconds.
right. So I mean that's mind blowing. And that you think about it and like, that's really not a whole lot of time, especially
No,
over a course that's shit, I don't know. What are these courses average on being? What do you think? Probably a half mile?
a half mile, I think, would probably, um, other than maybe Missouri, they're probably skirting on a half mile.
Right. It's crazy. So and then for us to be at a new location for finals, I just think it's gonna be an epic weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's unreal. Um, Bounty class, kind of the same deal. You got your top two, then you got your next two. There's only really four in that battle. Nathaniel Bell 665, Casey House 649. Then you got Madison King with 585 and Josh Krapinski with 581. No money for the championship in that series, but they do get a trophy and bragging rights. So I feel like I worry about Casey because he is running the Bounty and UTV Unlimited, and he is kind of in the hunt for both of them.
Right.
So where does he push? Unlimited pays the money. Bounty doesn't have a season-ending points fund.
Right.
So does he push in the Unlimited and lay back in Bounty until Unlimited's over?
Right.
Or what happens, if you break? That's the scary thing, dude. Running one car, you break. Let's just say you break early Friday. Then what?
Right.
You're that close in the whole season. So hopefully they have some good runs. Josh Krapinski is right there. I really think speed to speed, I think Josh is faster than Madison. Madison had some better luck on climbing some hills this year. But if it comes down to speed, I think Josh can get her. But I mean, it's 4 points.
Yeah.
Who knows? Flip a coin. Bouncer class. Once again, we're kind of in the same deal. Timmy with 838. Daniel Heckley with 794. So you got those two. That's barring DNFs. If they just run, I think
Right.
that's how they finish. Then you got four more. You got Cooper with 719, Nick Rock with 717, Clayton Smith with 702, and Clint Garrison with a 689. Now, I'm going to call this right now. I think Clint jumps from 6th to 3rd this weekend. I think he passes them all. I will not be one bit surprised if he doesn't squeak in there and get the 3rd place. He's a smoother driver.
Right.
He doesn't really, in my eyes anyways, he doesn't really attack the courses as hard as some of the, I hesitate to use the word fast guy because I don't want to imply that Clint's slow. But he doesn't attack as hard as, say, Daniel or Timmy or even Nick or Clayton. Like he's more under control.
Right.
And I think with 4 hills to go, if he lays down some smooth runs, he'll leapfrog all 4 of those guys. So I don't know. Just my opinion. I'm excited, dude. It's going to be a big weekend.
Oh yeah.
I think we'll have to go back sometime after this event and go back and check our picks and see.
Yeah, I think I pretty much foobarred my bouncer pick.
Well, I mean, I don't even remember. I had it wrote down at one
I
time.
don't either. I don't even know that I wrote them down.
I wrote them down once. Oh, they're laying here. Hold on. Let's just see.
No shit.
They're still sitting here. Let's see. You had yeah, yours is pretty bad. You had Timmy, Brandon, and then a bacon.
Right.
So you got the winner. I think you got the champion. Your cup class is really close. Your bounty class is really close. And your stock class is really close. So it's, yeah, maybe we don't need to do this because I think you're going to whoop us all. Yeah. Yeah, yours looks a whole lot better than mine. Listen, who would have thought, and I'm glad he had a pretty good run the last race. And I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Poor Brandon Davis has just not had a year in that bouncer. You know, coming off a championship, has just not had a year.
Right.
Like, if it could go wrong, it's went wrong. So I'd like to see him come into finals and put on a good show and try and at least elevate his finishing position. I hate to see him go from winning a championship to, I don't even know where he's at, probably 7th or 8th. I'd like to see him come up a little bit.
See, the last time he was at Wildcat, he had a pretty bad hiccup.
Oh, yeah. That gnarly downhill.
So this, you know, it'll be interesting to watch him run this weekend to see if he's more reserved on the downhills.
I bet he isn't. This is the last points race of the year. Nothing to lose, really.
Right.
I bet he puts on a show.
Oh yeah.
I bet a lot of people put on a show. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready.
Right.
So another rumor. The plan is tentatively, and like I said, I think we've talked about this as well, is to rotate finals from Wildcat to Windrock year to year. So however that plays out, I'm fine with. You know, I'm good. But I think that would be cool if we could rotate these, come back and forth, and maybe still do the same thing we're doing this year. We're having the Battle of the Bouncers 1st of November at Windrock. If we do finals at Windrock, let's come back to Wildcat and let's have a November race.
Yeah, do Battle of the Bouncers at Wildcat.
Yeah, just switch them around. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is our last points race, but don't forget we do have Battle of the Bouncers also coming up 1st of November. That is a pretty good payback. It is 1 UTV class and 1 bouncer class. Pays back 5 places in each class. Registration is open on the National Rock Racing Association website. Get entered for that. It is a guaranteed payout. No matter the entries or what have you, the money's there. So come get some. Dan, you done signed up for the UTV class in that.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get rowdy at Windrock in that blue buggy. So you're gonna have to bring it home from finals in good enough shape to get to Windrock.
Right. And then we just want to hold her together this weekend. But I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna put the old car to use at Windrock.
Hey, we got a winner. Fix it. Get her, boy. Get her. Yeah, guys, not a whole lot. Just Oh, before we go, and I meant to mention this at the top of the show, and we made 0 notes for this show, so I was struggling to come up with what we were even going to talk about as we were recording the show. So this kind of slipped my mind. If you can, guys, and if you are in a position to, the floods this week in western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, if you're able to help in that situation in any way, shape, or form, it's not hard to find somebody on the internet asking for help or telling you where to go.
Right.
There are groups of UTV riders that are getting together. There are homes that cannot be accessed by anything other than UTVs, and some that's helicopter and foot traffic only. So if you are able to and in a position to, please consider trying to find a way to help those people. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but our buddy Steve from Super Grip was almost right in the middle of that.
Right. Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, so it can happen, stuff like that, anytime. And listen, it has wiped out entire towns in North Carolina. Like I realized, I mean, I seen it, and I knew it was bad, but there was one video that Cletus McFarland, he's been over there in his personal helicopter flying and dropping off supplies and stuff. And there was one video he put up of what was, I guess, the town of Chimney Rock, North Carolina. It's gone. Like the same as the entire town is just gone. The road, the whole entire road is washed away. Houses, buildings, stores. So it's real over there. It is real. It is almost apocalyptic looking. And I know the media is kind of giving it some attention. It's we're not getting the attention over there that, let's just say, they were getting back in 2005 for Katrina.
Right.
I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because we're in a election cycle, or there's all kinds of other things going on too. But don't forget about those guys. And if you can, please go help, or please donate any which way you can. It's going to be years.
Right.
Years before those people get back to some sort of stability, and some of them may never. So yeah, if you can do anything, please do that. If you don't know where to donate or where to look for help, message us. We'll point you. There's a couple businesses, side-by-side businesses that we do business with that are going. They're flying stuff in. They're sending side-by-sides. So if you don't know where to go, contact us. Look us up. Send us a message, and we'll get you in contact with some people who are going. And, man, it's just a bad deal. You messaged me the other day asking how we survived it, and it rained here, but we didn't get nothing. Nothing. There wasn't even a puddle, on the road.
Right.
And it's just so wild that just a few hours one direction, and it's just looks like a bomb went off, dude.
Right.
So anyways, we'll end the show on a sad note like that. Wildcat. Last points race of the year. Y'all better be there. Hey, tickets were cheap. I think I seen it's like $75 for a weekend pass.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, 3-day pass, $75. Come get you some of that. National Rock Racing Association Finals.